Hey, what's up? I'm Pascal from Orangepixel and welcome to what?
Hey, what's up? Hey.
Don't hey me. What's
checking
going
up
on?
where we are with our work.
Our work? We're not.
Yes, we. Remember,
I'm
I
so
am you,
not,
you are
no,
me,
I'm
we
not
are the
you.
same.
No way. I don't have a creepy side in me.
Anyway, deadline's coming up, so where are we with all these projects?
I was just about to give up the date, and I'm not sure what that has to do
Hope
with you.
we made progress.
Just giving an update.
Do I have
about
to remember you about the dead in deadline?
Deadline does no. It has what? No, this is nothing to do with death. I'm not.
Okay,
Where you, where are you going and what's? Something's gonna happen after the intro. Where are you? What? This is. I need a new workplace. So we're now nearing the end of the year, and that also means for me trying to wrap up projects. And I'm currently working on a bunch of projects and not wrapping up all the projects because I'm actually preparing some of these projects so that next year, 2025, I can get into them as quickly as possible. Now you might ask why I'm working on so many different things. I don't know. It works for me. I like to mix up weeks here and there, working on one thing and then leaving it a little bit and then moving and focusing onto other stuff and then returning to the first project with fresh eyes and fresh energy, and for me that works very well. Now my main project right now is Regulator City. I talked about it in the last couple of weeks. I gave myself the deadline to have this game done in November. This video goes live on October 31st. Tomorrow it's November. I have a few weeks left to wrap up this project. Luckily for me, I'm almost there. What's left right now is adding an end boss, some sort of ending to the game, and then fine-tuning a lot of things. And whenever I have time for extra features, extra enemies, things like that, maybe a weapon or item here and there, I'll add those in the coming months. I just want the game ready to ship in November, and then I can always use a couple of months to add things as I do marketing for it. And the game is not going to be released until February, March. So there is still time there to do things, but for me I need to wrap up this project so I can move on and fully focus on to the next. Now besides the required stuff for Regulator City, I also want to see if I can make this editor fully user-friendly and somehow include it in the game's release or in an update afterwards so that people, at least on PC, can create their own levels for it. It's not a requirement, but it would be cool to have. Same as multiplayer. I'm still tinkering on multiplayer. A few videos ago I talked about deterministic lockstep and what I'm trying to implement. You don't have to send a lot of data, just the controls and the input. I'm almost there and I'm getting closer and closer every week. It's just an hour here and there, just looking at numbers. I have a huge amount of debug numbers and I'm trying to pinpoint where things go wrong. So often it's spawning something on one PC and the other PC is spawning the same thing but with slightly different seeding numbers or random numbers, and then I'll have to figure out why that's happening. That's the hard part, but it is kind of fun as I'm making progress still. I'm getting close to a game that's just perfectly playable, and we're just sending the players input controls, which is mind-blowing, but it works. The game is a simulation. It has to be a perfect simulation. Everything runs the same as long as the same input is specified. And we're getting closer. Now the reasons why it sometimes goes off rail is it could be anything. I have a fun example from last week. Bullets were flying, but it was hitting a crate at a different time, a different world tick. So there was something off there. Now this took me hours to figure out. The difference was in the animation of the characters. That's something I don't synchronize. I don't set them at the same animation because I thought the rest of the game wouldn't even care about this. But your weapon is linked to your head. So if you move around, your head is bobbing up and down. So is your weapon. If that's not in sync, the bullet is going to be starting 1 pixel higher or lower than on the other computer. So we had like a single pixel discrepancy, and that caused everything to go crazy, because the crate or an enemy would be hit on one PC by a bullet that just had a little tiny extra energy left because it started at a pixel higher, and on the other PC it would maybe also hit but not have the energy required to kill something. So the crate would explode on this PC and something spawned out of it. The crate would still be active and visible and there on the other PC, and nothing spawned. And because we have something spawning there, something is increased, something is created that isn't there, and slowly everything went out of order. So in short, multiplayer hopefully makes it into the game, but it's not a requirement. It's just going to be a bonus and an extra if it does, and it's going to be extra cool to have, but I'm not really sure yet if we're going to get there. My second project is Project Web, and this is really something I'm trying to set up for 2025. Releasing games on the web, HTML5 games. Right now looking at Pokey, but gonna look at crazy games, all those things. Distribution, game distribution, a few more. Discord has activities where you can actually play games with a lot of other people. That's gonna be interesting. YouTube has games. Facebook Messenger, I think, or Facebook has games. HTML5 games are everywhere. My games aren't there, so that's a shame. So I'm trying to set up the whole framework for that. I got Gunslugs 1 released last week. Still waiting for the results, haven't got them yet, so I can't do an update on it. Pokey is testing it with a lot of players. You can actually go on Pokey and search for Gunslugs and you can play it. Not sure how that works, but it's there. But that project is now well on its way. Yesterday, Sunday afternoon, I grabbed my laptop and started porting my PC framework onto HTML5 so that I think everything now is available. Everything I'm used to having in my framework is available. Object pools, input handling, rendering, everything, interface stuff. I should be able now to grab a game, probably going to be Snakecore, because I think it's a good casual game, fits the market well, and I just have to get that code and port it over to HTML5 and get it to run, because then I know my framework is fully functional and ready to go. And in 2025 my plan is to create a bunch of games, casual tiny games that have no place on Steam or console. Just all the stuff you require to get them on there would just not be worth it. So a very simple casual fun games that I can also make in a very short time. It's just going to be a lot of little snacks and candy like games and not full meal dinners. Release them on HTML5, various sites, distribution sites, whatever I can find, and see if I can make some revenue from it. And it will also be fun and entertaining for this channel, I hope, because I plan to give myself some challenges, and I'll start like on Friday recording a new video day by day as I develop a little game within 5 days. So start on Friday, have it done on Thursday, video goes live Thursday afternoon, the game possibly also available somewhere during that same time. We'll see. Along those lines will be interesting, giving me YouTube content, giving me hopefully some games and things to try out there. That's going to be Project Web. We're almost there. A few months ago I pushed Gauntlet of Power onto Steam. Pushed 4 updates so far, I think. I still have 1 update planned that I want to create, but it's now lower on my to-do list, my priority list. The game is still selling. I just actually checked and it's still selling, which is good and which does make it interesting to push an update out there. I want at least to have the Portal Space Grunt science fiction type level in the game, because that Portal is in animation. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, try the game on Steam. There's a demo version available, and then get the game and make sure to leave a review. Important. So an extra update is in the plans, just right now not as important. It will depend on me finding some time to do it. Maybe a little bit of a lack of interest in the current projects, and then it could be fun to tinker with a game that's already out and ready to go, and any update I do, just push it live and it's live for players. But Gauntlet of Power is now kind of done for me. It's not a current project anymore. There's still the Switch version that's in development, but it's not going to be released until 2025. So everything I'm doing right now is actually already for 2025. Getting everything prepared and ready to go. A mobile version, not sure what I'm going to do with mobile in the coming months or years. I just haven't decided yet. I'll decide it somewhere in 2025, I guess. And that brings me to SG3, Space Grunts, 3rd game in the series. Turn-based, roguelike, science fiction, action type game. I was already working on this title many months ago, but it has been a little bit pushed away because of all these other things that just needed to go first. But now I'm pretty sure Space Grunt 3 will be my next game or bigger game for 2025. I just need to make sure I get it all done, created, programmed, drawn, everything within the same 5 to 6 months that I needed for Gauntlet of Power. Now I already have the basis up and running. I just want to add a certain little extra oomph to it. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna strip all the multiplayer stuff I have up and running now in Regulator City and plug it into Space Grunt 3, because it's gonna be a lot easier doing this multiplayer thing with a turn-based game, which is already somewhat deterministic because everything works step by step, turn by turn. Nothing happens without the player doing anything. I think it could be fun to have that multiplayer. Maybe even more than 2 players. I have to see if I can find a game design around that. The main thing though is that I get this game up and running as soon as possible, which means I should really start digging into it a lot more pretty soon. So I've been feeling very productive the last couple of months, getting so much things done and so many new projects off the ground. This whole HTML5 thing, Regulator City, all the stuff that's happening there. Feeling very productive. However, the first part of this year, it was not the case. I might get into that for my end of year review things, talking about how this whole year went. But right now I'm in a right place, getting things done, meeting deadlines and setting myself up for 2025, releasing Regulator City, Gauntlet of Power on Switch, possibly on mobile, a bunch of these HTML5 games, including Gunslugs 1, Gunslugs 2, Snake Core, and anything else I can come up with, and I'll create videos for those games. So there's a lot of things happening and coming. And then of course Space Grunt 3 hopefully also launching early or the first half of next year, and then another project started. Hopefully I'll just keep up with all this productive momentum I have going right now, because it feels good and it's a lot of fun getting things done and out there. But for now, this ends the video. Just a little update on where I am with all my projects. Hope you liked it. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment below. If you have any questions or other comments, drop them below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.